Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Lewis University Television Network. Today is Thursday, February 27, 2025. I'm Brandon Najera.
And I'm Christian Kluber.
Tonight, Elon Musk in the room during a U.S. cabinet meeting, Trump saying all is well, but some members coming out with their comments on the situation. Then, authorities looking for Yolanda Olenicek, who ran to Mexico after stabbing and killing her wife, the chief of CAL FIRE, Becky Mardory. After the 10th anniversary of the runaway llama in suburban Phoenix, Arizona, and the empowering story of skier Special Olympian Bethany Mussel, now the top national and international stories. We begin with breaking news out of Western Texas as a new outbreak of measles has taken the life of a child. Texas health officials say an unvaccinated school-age child was hospitalized in the Lovelock last week and tested positive for measles. The case sadly turned deadly. Texas health officials say they are seeing some severe cases with about 20 hospitalizations. Some of those patients receiving intense care. Officials say losing a patient is taking a toll on hospital workers. The new Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has reportedly questioned the science behind vaccines and shared anti-vaccine rhetoric. Measles, a highly contagious airborne virus, can cause a rash of red spots, fever, cough, and red and watery eyes. Public health officials say the best way to prevent getting sick is to be vaccinated with the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. The measles outbreak come amid massive layoffs being handed down from the Trump administration across the federal government. At the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, at least 10% of its workforce was recently let go. West Texas health officials are gearing up to vaccination drives in the coming days. They are also encouraging residents not to be afraid to go to local hospitals while they are working to contain on the outbreak.
Ascent Consumer Products Incorporated has issued a voluntary nationwide recall of Sanu Cleanse Soft Tip Squeeze Bottle Nasal Wash System due to microbial contamination. The product is packaged in a carton containing that squeezed bottle and is 30 saline packets. The affected lot was distributed in January 2025 nationwide through retail and online outlets. The expiration date is December 31st, 2027. The company is notifying its distributors and customers by email. Distributors and retailers are advised to cease distribution and remove the recalled lot from inventory. Consumers should stop using this product and return it to the store and throw it away if they do have it. Six recently fired
federal workers could temporarily be back on the job soon, thanks to an independent protection board that reviews complaints by government employees. Their move is considered one of the first direct rebukes to President Donald Trump and his Department of Government Efficiency as it rapidly fires tens of thousands of employees across the federal workforce. The Trump administration was signaled it wants more power over the Merit System Protection Board as it technically falls within the executive branch, despite having a level of independence granted by Congress. Thousands of probationary workers have lost their jobs already at agencies including the Forest Service, Energy and Education Departments, and the IRS, which is the heart of tax filing season.
Top administration appointees gathered at the White House Wednesday for the first cabinet meeting of Trump's second term. Elon Musk was also in the room. As the White House says, quote, secretaries take the advice and direction of DOJ and are working with Musk on his efforts to reduce the size of the federal government. The cabinet meeting attendee received the most attention isn't actually a member of Trump's cabinet. It's tech billionaire Elon Musk. According to the White House, the secretaries and their staff are in regular communication with Musk on his efforts to reduce the size of the federal government. While Musk, a special government employee, wasn't seated at the table with secretaries, he was in the room and was asked to speak and take questions shortly after Trump started the meeting. This was after Musk's weekend request that federal employees should respond to an email with an outline of what they did last week, or it would be as a resignation. Several of the secretaries then instructed their workers not to respond. Before yesterday's meeting, Trump posted on social media saying all cabinet members are extremely happy with Musk and that the media will see that at the cabinet meeting. When it comes to
egg prices, McDonald's isn't cracking under pressure. The fast food giant says it isn't charging more for its breakfast item, and they will be offering a $1 McMuffin deal on March 2nd to celebrate its 50th anniversary on the menu. According to the Department of Agriculture, an ongoing avian flu has resulted in the deaths of more than 140 million egg-laying birds. This has caused some restaurants, including the Waffle House and Denny's, to boost their price of meals that include eggs. Some retailers have also placed limits on the number of eggs a customer can get per visit. Next, the chase to find a woman suspected of killing CAL FIRE Chief Becky Mardon, the story of the new visa restrictions between the U.S. and Cuba. Stay with us.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
What are you looking for?
Authorities are searching for a woman suspected of killing her wife before taking off across the border to Mexico. According to an arrest warrant from San Diego County, Yolanda Olejniczak is seen on surveillance video attacking CAL FIRE Captain Becky Marody. Investigators say shortly after that, Olejniczak filled her vehicle with her belongings and drove away. Homeland Security records show that she entered Mexico about an hour later. Marody died from numerous stab wounds. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. In 2004, she was sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter in the stabbing of her then husband.
Major League Soccer has fined Lionel Messi in an undisclosed amount for grabbing the neck of an opposing team's coach. It happened at the end of the game between Inter Miami and New York City FC on Saturday. Messi put a hand on the back of NYCFC assistant coach Mehdi Balochi's neck as he walked off the field. Moments earlier, the reigning league MVP had been given a yellow card after a heated exchange with the referee. Messi's teammate Luis Suarez was also fined an undisclosed amount for grabbing the back of an NYCFC defender's neck at the end of the first half.
On Wednesday morning, the Vatican said Pope Francis had another peaceful night in the hospital. According to a Vatican source, the Pope is sitting up and continuing with treatment and rest. The 88-year-old pontiff remains on oxygen, but the Vatican said that the Pope is showing signs of improvement. He was admitted to a clinic in Rome more than a week ago and tested for respiratory tract infection. The Pope was later diagnosed with pneumonia.
The U.S. is expanding a Cuban visa restriction policy. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said it will target what he called forced labor linked to the Cuban labor export program. He said it applies to current or former Cuban government officials and others, including foreign government officials and their immediate family members. In his statement, Rubio specifically mentioned Cuba's overseas medical missions. For decades, Cuba has sent doctors and nurses to natural disasters and disease outbreaks globally to foster solidarity with Cuba. In recent years, the medical missions have become an important cash cow as Cuba's economy has all but collapsed. Some who have defected say Cuba's government keeps most of the money they're paid, and they're barred from returning to Cuba for years if they leave the program without permission.
An American teenager is being investigated for a homicide in France. She's accused of throwing her newborn baby out of the Paris' hotel second-floor window. The baby was taken to a local hospital but did not survive. The young mother is in police custody. Prosecutors and the French media haven't named her. Multiple media agencies report that the woman is 18 years old. Prosecutors said that she was part of a group of young adults traveling in Europe. The U.S. Embassy in France said that it was aware of reports of the arrest and was closely monitoring this case. Next, Robert Crimo III's trial will be underway soon as the jury is nearly filled for his trial of the 2022 4th of July mass shooting in Highland Park and the attention-grabbing touch and go of Southwest Airlines flight at Midway earlier this week. We'll be back right after these messages.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
Ooh,
But I feel fine.
that's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Jury selection has concluded in the trial of Robert Crimo III, the alleged shooter in the 2022 Highland Park 4th of July parade tragedy, leaving 7 dead and dozens injured. The defendant was absent during the final day of selection, declining to attend court proceedings. Legal experts warned that his absence could negatively impact his offense. The trial is set to commence Monday in Waukegan, Illinois, and is expected to last several weeks. The jury includes retirees, parents, gun owners, and video game enthusiasts.
The Wizarding World of Harry Potter is set to enchant Chicago with a new retail store opening April 10th at 676 North Michigan Avenue. This 12,000 square foot space will offer inclusive Chicago edition merchandise and a unique butterbeer bar. Inspired by the city's iconic speakeasies, the store's design will blend Harry Potter's themes with Chicago's architectural flair, featuring suspended broomsticks and a maze-patterned floor. The opening coincides with the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Fans can also indulge in the Chicago-themed butterscotch popcorn, making this a must-visit destination for wizarding enthusiasts.
Effective Wednesday, February 26th, Spirit Airlines, Southern Airways Express, and Denver Air Connect have relocated their check-in operations from Terminal 3 to Terminal 2 at O'Hare International Airport. This move is part of the $300 million Elevate project aimed at renovating Terminal 3. American Airlines will now utilize the vacated gates in Terminal 3's concourse. The Chicago Department of Aviation has installed signage at the Terminal 3 to direct passengers to the new check-in locations. Construction at Terminal 3 is expected to be completed by summer 2027.
A Southwest Airlines flight from Omaha to Chicago's Midway Airport narrowly avoided a collision Tuesday morning. As the plane was about to land, a private jet crossed the runway without authorization, forcing Southwest pilot to abort the landing and ascend rapidly. Passengers reported feeling the plane suddenly pull up, but were unaware of the danger that they were in at the time. Both aircrafts landed safely and no injuries were reported. The Federal Aviation Administration is still investigating the incident. Coming up, the world is mourning the loss of actor and star many children's shows and movies, Michelle Trachtenberg. In addition, the love story between NFL player Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and the $1 billion the NFL has gained from Swift and Kelce's love story. Entertainment with Jaden Elmore is up next after these messages.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
What are you looking for?
The entertainment world is mourning the loss of Michelle Trachtenberg. According to a source with the NYPD, her death doesn't appear to be suspicious, saying the actress had recently been dealing with an undisclosed medical issue. Trachtenberg was a former child star, making an impression with her role on The Adventures of Pete and Pete. She also starred in Nickelodeon's 1996 film Harriet the Spy. 4 years later, she was part of the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, playing Sarah Michelle Gellar's younger sister. Trachtenberg was 39 years old. It is still a love story between the National Football League and Taylor Swift. According to Apex Marketing, the pop superstar brought in $1 billion worth of publicity to the sport. The firm tracked how often Swift and the NFL were mentioned since her game day debut in 2023. The launch of her relationship with Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce and her record-breaking Eras tour amplified the media exposure. Since the season ended a few weeks ago, interest has waned. A New York man is suing Kim Kardashian for a social media post she made a year ago. Kardashian posted about convicted murderer Ivan Cantu 2 days before he was executed in Texas. She was asking her followers to sign a petition to save his life. The problem is, she used a picture of a different man who lives in New York but has the same name. Kardashian's lawyer admits what happened and says his client removed the photo as soon as she realized her error. Cantu filed a lawsuit Thursday claiming libel, slander, and emotional distress. Kardashian's lawyers say they're hoping to settle the case, but they defend her in court if they have to. Kardashian has spent the past several years studying to become a lawyer herself. Her father was attorney Robert Kardashian, who gained fame by helping defending O.J. Simpson. Drake has dropped a new album where he mentions his beef with Kendrick Lamar. Some Sexy Songs for You debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 200. This is the 14th time Drake's topped the chart. The 21-track project is collaboration with singer Party Next Door. The music leans into R&B. The single Gimme a Hug is already stirring a reaction on social media. It mentions Drake's beef with Kendrick Lamar, who has been riding the success of his hit Not Like Us, also about their feud. Yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of some serious llama drama. 2 therapy llamas, Lainey and Kenitu, escaped during a visit to an assisted living facility in suburban Phoenix. It led to a wild 2-hour pursuit by their handlers, residents, and sheriff's deputies. Some landscapers in a pickup truck eventually managed to lasso them. Major news networks around the world ate it up, broadcasting the llamas on the Lamb Live. Unfortunately, Lainey died from an illness 3 years later after the chase. Coming up, the story of Bethany Mussel, a Special Olympic skier. Then we look at Alexander Zverev, the best player yet to win a major title as he became the first major title winner for tennis. All coming up after these messages.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Bethany Mussel carves her own path. For the last 15 years, she's been training to be her very best at skiing, which earned her a spot competing on the world stage. But getting here didn't come easy. Thanks to her many Special Olympics coaches, like Barrett Dassault, she's learned to master the slalom. Last season, Bethany raced her own way to a gold medal at the skate ski meet on Wild Mountain in Taylor's Falls. This moment opened the door for her to compete internationally. She got her final track Sunday morning at Highland Hills ski area in Bloomington, before heading to Turin, Italy, to compete in the Special Olympic Winter Games. She'll compete in 3 events: slalom, giant, slalom, and super G. Her coaches are confident she'll find even more success at the world competition. Bethany is now 41 years old, accomplishing big things after picking up the sport later in life. She hopes her story inspires other athletes to do the same. This weekend, the men's world #2 Alexander Zverev will play in Las Vegas at the MGM Rewards Slam. It's an exhibition event which will act as a warm-up to Indian Wells. He's one of the best players in the world who's won pretty much everything, except a major tournament. And when he lost the Australian Open final to Jannik Sinner, last month he said he hopes that he won't end up being the best player never to win a major. Veteran defenseman Seth Jones, who is the popular name in this season's trade market and is in his 4th season with Chicago, voiced his frustration after the Blackhawks lost their 4th straight and extended a run in which they've now lost 7 of 8. Jones figures to attract quite a few suitors leading up to next week's trade deadline, but any move for Jones is going to be complicated considering the lofty contract he'd bring from Chicago. He's only in year 3 of an 8-year pact that carries a whopping $9.5 million salary cap hit. Lewis University's women's track and field athletes, Faith Wyman and Dennis Hernandez, were honored by the Great Lakes Valley Conference as the final indoor athletes of the week for the 2025 season. Wyman, a senior from Trenton, Illinois, was named the GLVC Track Athlete of the Week. She earned the distinction after finishing as the runner-up in the 200-meter dash at the Least Lake Invitational on February 21st. Her name of 25:07, which earned her an NCAA provision mark, ranked 6th in the GLVC. This is her first career indoor track athlete of the week honor. Hernandez, a junior from Naperville, Illinois, was named the GLVC Field Athlete of the Week. She claimed victory in the long jump at the Least Lake Invitational with a leap of 6.16 meters or 20 feet, 2.5 inches. Hernandez remains ranked first in the GLVC and second in the NCAA Division II. This is her 4th career Indoor Field Athlete of the Week award, having previously earned the recognition on February 26th, February 19th, January 15th, and January 18th of last year. Both athletes helped lead Lewis at the Least Lake Invitational, although the team did not record official time scores of the meet. The Lewis University men's lacrosse team cruised to a 23-2 victory over Tiffin on Tuesday at Paradoso Turf Field, improving their record to 4-1 on the season. The Flyers dominated from the start, jumping to a 9-0 lead by the end of the quarter. Paul Rogowski, Lance McCain, McCall, Good, and Nolan Delep each recorded 3 goals to lead Lewis offensively. McCann, Good, and Delep also contributed with multiple assists. Lewis continued its offensive barrage in the second quarter, extending its lead to 16-1 by halftime. Good completed a hat trick, and Delep added his second goal, helping the Flyers pull away. The third quarter saw Lewis shut out Tiffin while adding 6 more goals, including 2 from Max Anderson. The Flyers were up 22-1 heading into the final frame. Tiffin managed to score its second and final goal early in the fourth quarter. Burkowski capped off the Flyers' scoring with a goal in the final minute, securing a 23-2 win. Lewis will return to action on March 8th, hosting Westminster at Lewis Stadium at 1 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What are you looking for?
That's it for today's news. Thank you for watching, and as a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis University Television Network on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I'm Brandon Najera.
And I'm Christian Kluber. Have a great night.